What's up, YouTube? So, got a review to do today. This is the G Squared Ghost. So I was at Ohio State's last weekend, and I had the wonderful opportunity to buy a pre-release G Squared Ghost. And let me tell you, this thing's pretty cool. But before we talk about that, let's get into the specs. So, diameter of this yo-yo is 57 millimeters. The width is 43.04 millimeters. The weight is 66.5 grams. The material is PTFE, which is basically Teflon, like what's on your frying pan. The gap is 4.5 millimeters. Has the G19 response pad, so it's pretty standard 19 millimeter pads. Size C bearing in it. Ships with the Boss Rage, which is the like grooved bearing, kind of like the Crucial. But also comes with the flat bearing, which is the Boss Wrath. So, yeah, definitely a really cool high-end machined plastic in a very similar shape and structure to the G Squared Banshee, which I like a lot. This one's a little more H, in my opinion, whereas the Banshee is a little more V. So, but still very, like, kind of a similar feel in the hand. But I'm not going to tell you that this plays like it's a metal, because it doesn't. It plays like a high-end plastic, and it plays like a super nice plastic. So, yeah, this is definitely, was definitely one of my reasons for going to Ohio State's. I probably would have gone anyway, even if Jake didn't have them, but was certainly kind of the icing on the cake to be able to get one of these, because I really wanted one ever since G Squared announced them, and first started taking looks at them and prototyping them. It seemed right up my alley. As you guys know, the Banshee's pretty much one of my favorite yo-yos of all time. My top two. So this was sort of a must-have for me. Diameter is pretty similar as the G Squared Elite as well, as is the width. So this seems to be a pretty standard. It's a hair. It's pretty close to the same. About the same as the Banshee too, so pretty standard as far as G Squared like competition type stuff is concerned, and as far as size and shape and weight and stuff. So if you're used to that stuff, or if you like that stuff, this is definitely within that vein as far as all that stuff is concerned. But let's go throw it around a little bit, and I'll kind of show you what sets this apart from a lot of other plastic yo-yos. Hint: Teflon is non-stick. Non-stick. So let's throw it around and we'll be back. Hey, we're back. Alright, so first thing you're going to notice about this yo-yo is even though it's kind of light for a plastic yo-yo at like 66.5 grams, it still spins a long time. I feel like that's sort of where plastic yo-yos kind of aren't. That's where they sort of lack, is that if they're light, that kind of 66 gram sweet spot, if they're lighter, they don't spin very long. So it's like you either play a really heavy yo-yo that spins a long time, if it's plastic, or you play a really light yo-yo and it dies out on you really quick. And I think this being made out of Teflon kind of gives you that plastic feel. Plays like a plastic yo-yo, which is, what you want when you play a plastic yo-yo, because otherwise just play metal. But at the same time, it's, it still spins a long time, and the weight distribution is rim-weighted enough in that it's really stable, although I'm terrible right now. And, yeah, so anyway, this thing, pretty darn smooth. So this is machined Delrin. Very little vibe to speak of, if any at all. Just like a little bit of plastic vibe. I'd say this is on the same level as, or maybe even a little less vibe than most of the like high-end Delrin ones, like the at least the ones I've been able to try. I've tried a Crucial, or not, no, what is it? Yeah, the fresh milk, and you guys saw me review the one-drop Cabal, and this is, I'd say, you know, maybe even smoother than those two. Probably, definitely even smoother than those two. I would say the kind of deciding factor in this and sort of its shining achievement is its grindable finish. So, Teflon is a non-stick product. That's why you would cook eggs in the Teflon pans. And consequently, that makes it particularly good for grinds. Barely loses any spin at all on grinds. And is just kind of a joy to do. Was even able to do it, it was really hot outside at Ohio State. Was even able to grind out in like 90-degree weather with like 100% humidity. That's just how slick and how cool this is. As far as other stuff is concerned, it's got a big enough lip you can do thumb grinds on it, but it's not designed for it. There's no like nothing to really catch your thumb in there, but you totally can do thumb grinds in there. There's just nothing to catch it. And doesn't really slow down when it hits your hand, which is nice because of that Teflon. And as far as finger spins are concerned, it's got that spike in there, kind of like the Banshee does and like the Elite does. You can hit them. It's stable enough to do that, but you kind of got to do it on the like outer ridge here because you can't like center them. So they're not super long, but you can absolutely do it because the cup's big enough and you got enough room for it. So no real issues there. That and the Teflon being as slick as it is, nothing really to hang up your finger if it catches your skin or anything. So that's pretty cool. But otherwise, I mean, just a really cool, really fun yo-yo. And what with it being machine plastic, it's not gonna hit the you know, $100 plus price point that a lot of G Squared yo-yos hit. I think Jake's trying to keep these in the $60-ish range. I don't know what the final price is going to be. I don't think he does either because I think the material cost went up. But once all the swag and stuff is done, I think the intent was to keep it within the $60-ish range. I think he said that before. But yeah, just kind of a yo-yo that as you play it, just sort of starts to feel even better and be even nicer. And sorry, I'm terrible this morning. I can't throw it all. But yeah, definitely a cool addition. Was super excited to pick this up. But let's go. I'll take it apart. I'll show you how it's all put together, and you know, that'll be that. All right, guys, we're back. So as far as construction is concerned, it's sort of similarly constructed to how the Cabal would be you know, made. These are hubs. So got the little green hub there as opposed to like just the flat hub. But it sort of all goes together. Well, it all goes together. There's like a metal hub that houses the bearing and everything, and then the plastic is around that hub. So let's get this pulled apart. And as you can see, there's the Boss Rage bearing. Spins real good. Had to lube it after Ohio State's because, yeah, it was muggy. It's getting muggy in here right now. I kind of feel it. I'm starting to get muggy. Spins good. Bearing anyway. Here's the, there we go. G19 pads. They match. They're also like, they're kind of clear. They're not really white. But with the white, you know, plastic, they look white. So G19 pads. The as you can see, there's the hub that kind of has the plastic around it, and the axle will come out. It's kind of a long axle. Axle does come out of the hub. Screw that back in there, and the bearing sits kind of tight on the seat. This one usually you could pull the G Squared bearings out. They're not like affixed to it, but I guess with this one to make it smooth. Had to be tight on the seat, but works good. It's not too tight. Like I feel like if I played with it enough, I could pull it out, but it kind of just locks in there. And And let's put this bad boy back together. So let's talk pros and cons. So pros of this thing are the Teflon is super cool. Like, this is a super duper cool. It's like a slick finish, grinds great, and it's so different. And I really like different yo-yos, as you guys know. I don't have anything made out of anything Teflon, and it feels a lot different than Delrin, especially if you're holding a Delrin yo-yo and this yo-yo in your hand at the same time. Like, this is slick. This is almost like soapy, sort of. Whereas this is like kind of sticky, and this is the tumbled one. So this is more of a like matte, like a matte finish, sort of. Whereas this is shiny. It's a shiny finish, but it's like slick. So I don't have anything like that, and this is really cool. So definitely a really neat design idea as far as that's concerned. Other pros, it's only 66.5 grams, so like it plays kind of like quick and nimble, but at the same time, because it's sort of a special plastic, it's like kind of like Delrin. The weight distribution can kind of be a little more aggressive towards rim weight. So it's kind of got these thick rims, so you get a lot of stability and like spin time out of it without it having to be 67, 68 grams, or heavier, kind of like your Replay Pros would be, or or anything like that. And there doesn't have to be like a metal ring in there or anything. It's really smooth as far as all that's concerned. For a plastic yo-yo, it's not as smooth as like the Banshee would be, but this is like 10 out of 10. This is about 9.5 out of 10. So, what more could you really ask for out of a like plastic yo-yo? It's really cool. It's got that like this isn't the same thing. This has its own flair, and that's really cool. It's really great because of that. It's like something you want to pick up because it's like so different. As far as cons are concerned, the way it's kind of put together, I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of the way that there's like the guts and then the plastic clipped onto the sides. I mean, I know there's only so many ways to do this, but I kind of wish these were a little more secured in there. But it's just not. It's how it's assembled. So it's not really a con, I guess, at all. I'm just sort of reaching at this point because it plays great. I have no really qualms with how it plays because it plays great. It plays every way I want it to play. No, I mean, you can finger spin on it, but you're not going to get real long ones, but that's not the idea. There's other yo-yos that'll do that. No, like, real thumb grind lip, not that that's a con because it doesn't matter, but it's, like, a little harder to do. But, again, I'm reaching. Super cool yo-yo. You're going to really want to pick one of these up whenever they come out. If you're a fan of G Squared stuff and, a fan of, like, Banshee-esque shapes, I certainly am. Like I said, this was a little more H in my estimation, but definitely something awesome. Definitely a worthwhile pickup, and I'm so excited to have one of these. Comes with all your standard G Squared swag, too. You get the awesome G Squared koozie. Jake had a black and gold one, or well, black and yellow, and I dig that clearly. So I got the black and gold one, but comes with the standard G Squared koozie. This is a Banshee one. He was just there. He had a bunch of koozies. I just took whatever because Jake's the man. Not really took whatever, but I was like, ooh, black and gold. I'll take, or black and yellow. I'll take that one. And yeah, you get extra bearing, extra comes with the string, the kitty string. He gave me an orange kitty string, so he's diversifying. Usually all the other ones came with the yellow, but he had the orange kitty fat at Ohio State, so diversifying. And pin comes with the pin. Didn't have all the like Ghost swag yet. It doesn't exist yet, but once it does, awesome. I'm gonna probably buy. Hopefully, it does Ghost T-shirts. I want one of those when they're done. Once I see this, I haven't even seen what the design's gonna be, but I'm gonna want one. I'm sure. But anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Tell me down in the comments, what do you think? Do you want to get one of these? Because you should. It's pretty awesome. But, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, Jake, for being the man and having some of these at Ohio State's. Always good to see you, always good to hang out, and, you know, always great to pick up great yo-yos. So, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers to you, and I'll see you next time.